Anakai coming in. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to also be live streaming today onto YouTube. We're just trying this out for the first time coming from in here. I do ask that in case you all come in and forget to mute yourselves, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody for right now. We will have some time later to actually have some Q&A. Okay, 1 second. Forget to mute yourselves. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody for right now. We will. All right. We've still got some more people jumping into the room, and we will kick off the training officially in just another couple of moments. But welcome, you guys. I appreciate you coming in on a Sunday. I know you probably have other things you could be doing, but like me, you're often taking advantage of this, slower weekend to better yourselves, to learn a little bit more, to increase the capabilities of what you do in your business and in the world. And so, and of course, what I just love hanging out with other people of like mind. So great for having you all here. We are going to start out with some slides, and I will jump over to that momentarily. But first, before we get into that, I just kind of want to introduce what we're talking about today. And I know some of you have been in my world for a while, and maybe you've seen some of my other videos as well. I tend to jump around based on what I feel like the questions that I'm getting amongst my clients and the people that we work with, and feel like what's the hot topic, the thing people are struggling with. And so sometimes it may be, well, doesn't this seem to go back to, list building 101? Well, yeah, but, we can always dig a little bit deeper and get a little better at what we're doing. So, with that said, I want to welcome you to part 6 of what I'm calling my MBA training series, MBA standing for Mastering Business Authority. And today's topic, I'm going to jump over to share a slide with y'all. For today's topic, we are going to be digging into what I call minor fixes and major wins. And the subtitle, of course, is how to optimize your lead magnet conversion metrics. And this is super important. My goal today is to provide you with the smarts to critically review, analyze, and adjust your client attraction strategy so that you're bringing in more of your ideal buyers, resulting in a massive increase in the bottom line. And to be even more specific, I'm going to reveal a minimum of 6 key points of adjustment where you can crank up the volume ever so slightly to bring up an end result that will be monumental. And just so that doesn't sound like it's a lot of fluff, let me do some quick math for you. So, for example, and easy math that you can do in your head, let's say that you're currently converting at roughly 30%, maybe 25%. Okay. That's actually a pretty decent number and maybe even higher than what you're doing in the real world. But let's break it down. So what that means is that for every 1,000 people, and I'm going to stop screen share here again for a minute. You've seen the title slide, so let's go back to just seeing me as I talk to y'all. So for every 1,000 people that come into your world, okay, 1,000 people that, and when I say come into your world, I mean they witness or get to see your lead magnet. They're getting their first exposure to you. Okay. So out of those people, let's say that 25% of them actually opt in and subscribe to your list and stick around for a bit. However, I'm going to show you how to get that to increase by up to 40% or more, getting you an extra 150 or more opt-ins out of every 1,000 people who see it. What would that do for you? What could you do with an extra 150 leads? I know for me, I can tell you that it would increase my revenue by thousands, perhaps even tens of thousands of dollars, all by making a few minor fixes to my existing lead magnet. But before I get started, I'm going to jump back over to the slide here. And in case some of you may not know me, I see some faces that may not be, I'm not as familiar with. So I want to share with you all about who I am and why possibly you should trust me. Okay. So again, my name is Michael Neely. Oh, got to let some folks into the room here. My name is Michael Neely, and I used to be a former professional actor. And I did that for 20 years of my life, 20 plus. And all during that time, I was supporting myself as an entrepreneur as well. Okay. And so I'm currently a 7-figure entrepreneur, and I'm the founder of the Authority Academy. I'm an international best-selling author of the book Zero to Launch Podcast Accelerator. And with that, I'm the host of 6 podcasts. I'm also a member of Mensa. For those of you who may know what Mensa is, doesn't mean much other than, I got a cool card to carry around. And most recently, I'm the founder of the Infinite List, which is the #1 lead generating membership community in the world. All right, so that's just a little bit about me. And 6, 7, and even 8-figure entrepreneurs come to me for coaching, advice, and mentorship on how to grow a successful business and build a freedom lifestyle that they love. And my hope is that by the end of this training, you're going to be newly armed with a better tool and a killer strategy, really, to go out and make your own millions. All right, so let's roll. So, first off, I'm going to make a few assumptions. While you may and should have your lead magnets sitting on your website, let's be real. It's not going to get a whole lot of leads there unless you're doing something to really bring a steady new stream of viewers to your website. And the best way to get exposure for your lead magnet, and I mean getting new eyeballs on it on a regular basis, is going to be through a JV partnership, or better yet, through participating in gift giveaways. And either way, your potential lead's first point of contact with your lead magnet is likely going to be in the title of it, okay? That is your first point of contact. And we're going to break down, remember I said we're going to break down 6 different areas of lead magnet conversion metrics, all right? So the first piece is the title. And I've done kind of a bit of a what I would call a business infographic here. And if any of you want this, you just let me know afterwards and we'll be sure to provide it to you. But number 1, we're going to start with the title. Starting out with an irresistible title is actually the key. And the adjustment of, or addition even, of a single word can increase your results tenfold. I mean, this really is a very important element. And so we're going to dig in a little bit deeper, like I said, than I have in other trainings. And we're going to review some titles, kind of like a what's hot and what's not. So I pulled a bunch of titles of lead magnets that are in our world here at the Infinite List. And we're just going to kind of play with these. So story selling made easy system. Not bad. 7 steps to success with gratitude. We're just going to fly through these first, and then I'm going to pluck out a few and tell you what could be made better. LinkedIn social selling, unlocking the 4 pillars to attract more clients. Launch your podcast in 30 days mini course. Corporate clients checklist. 3 secrets to look and feel great. 3 powerful ways to tap into your body wisdom. On and on. I'll let you all read these for yourself. But what I want to dig in now, and then we'll jump to the next page with a few more samples, is just some of the key words that work and how the addition of a word or the alteration of a single word can make it different. So let's look at the one, and I like this because I'm in the podcasting space, and one of the lead magnets on this page is one of mine. But look at launch your podcast in 30 days mini course. Now, by the way, we're going to do just a quick little sidebar here, disclaimer, if you will. I'm not saying that any of these are bad. I'm not saying that they won't work. What we're talking about today is making little changes to increase ever so slightly, but paying off big in the long run, the conversion metric. Just getting a few more people who see it to say yes. So as an example, launch your podcast in 30 days mini course. Nothing wrong with that at all. However, look down third from the bottom, the simple 5-step process to launch a rockin' podcast in just 14 days. That one, by the way, happens to be mine. So I'm not trying to play favorites on it, but I can tell you why I've chosen that title. Saying that it's simple changes things. People want simple. So adding a word just like simple, it could have been the simple way to launch your podcast in 30 days mini course. Probably would have helped improve the conversion metrics. Okay, the difference too. Launching a podcast. Well, a podcast is a podcast is a podcast. But what about a rockin' podcast or a successful podcast? Adding that one little word is going to increase the conversion metrics. And then, of course, 30 days, fine, mini course. Mine is just in just 14 days. The reason you would add the amount of time there is because it puts it in grasp of someone who may be thinking, oh yeah, I don't want to do a mini course. It could take me a year. No, this was 30 days. Or in my case, it's a 5-step process for 14 days. And so these are the ways that you can do just little tweaks to really get a big difference there. Okay. Now, coming up next, let's take a look at what we have on the next page here. Unstoppable Success Kit, word for word script to finally get that pay raise. Why therapy may be failing you. Why authentic mission driven entrepreneurs struggle to sell their stuff. On and on. We're just going to play with some of these. I'm going to show you some ideas that with little word tweaks. Let's use number 2 from the bottom, the visibility power up. The other piece about a title is what is the promise? Okay. Powering up your visibility, sure, that's good. But what is the result it's going to do for me? People are most interested in the results, not the how to get there. They're interested in what's it going to do for me. So it could be changed to the visibility power up to 10x your revenue or to 10x your following or whatever that may be. Something that's going to just give a little more pizzazz to that title. Let's look at some of these other here. Top 7 things you must do to successfully sell in the spot. Just when they added that word must, that was a really good word to add to it. It could have just been 7 things you should do or 7 things you could do, but these are things you must do. Okay? Just little nuances of your words. Uncover your sensory superpowers quiz. Again, so that you do what? What good is it going to be for me to know my sensory superpowers? Why would I want to know that? Plug that into the title and you will increase your conversion piece right there by, again, up to tenfold. I mean, I'm telling you, your title is super, super important. All right, jumping into the next piece. From title, we're going to move on to the type. What type of lead magnet are you creating? Certain types perform better. And I get asked this question all the time. What are the best performing types of lead magnets? And as opposed to me saying there is one specific type over another, I'm going to share with you uh, the types that do better and the types that do worse. Okay, because you don't want to get stuck offering a low upfront conversion metric. Those are better off on your thank you page, and we'll dig into that a little more today. But first, let's look at what types are doing well right now. So right now, the highest converting, I would say, lead magnet types are as follows. Cheat sheets, just a one-page thing of how to do this or how to do that. Those perform really well. Checklists. Eben Pagan, who is really big in our industry, he says that one of his highest performing lead magnets ever was simply a checklist of the equipment he uses to create really awesome videos. And if you've seen any of his videos, his training videos, you know they're really good quality. I'd love to know everything that he uses in those. And so a checklist is awesome. Guides, a quick guidebook to walk somebody step by step through something. Those are highly effective. Blueprint or a roadmap. How do you get from point A to point B and ultimately Z? Giving people the way to get there. Those are very, very popular. And a report, just a quick report on, what it's going to take to do this or what it'll take to do that or how to's are really awesome. And if you can put that into a report format, it's going to do way better than some of these pieces that aren't converting as well. Now, I'm not saying don't have these next ones, but the reason those that I just showed you convert so well is because they're easy to consume. You can get it, you can review it and look through it over in about 5 minutes. It doesn't take a whole lot of your time. And we're a time crunch society, so we want something we can consume right away. They're quick delivery. We get it right now. We don't have to wait for it. We don't have to sign up for something that's going to happen down the road. We get it immediately, and that gives it greater value and will improve your metrics. And finally, these are all solving a quick problem. What can you solve for people right away, real fast, real easy, that's going to build the know, like, trust factor? Okay. Next up, this is the ones that aren't working as well. And like I said, it's not that they won't work, but you will get a much higher percentage using the other methods. These are going to be lower, and I'll explain why as we go over them. Discovery call. Now, discovery call seems to be counterintuitive because I get it. Your time is valuable and you're an expert at what you do. However, you giving 30 minutes of your time, while that is great value and it's costly to you, giving up your time, guess what? You're expecting them to give up their time as well. Their time is valuable too. and they don't really know you well enough. So you won't get as many conversions on a discovery call as you will those other types of lead magnets. Ebooks. Again, great value. I'm sure your 200-page ebook is chock full of wisdom and information that's very useful. However, it is going to take more time to consume for your reader, for your potential lead. They're going to be more excited to just jump in for a quick Cliff's Notes. What's the golden nuggets you can give them that'll get them started right away with a fast win? Workshops. Yep, even this one. By the way, I would not use this workshop that we're doing as a lead magnet. I really, you're all introduced to it and invited to it because you're already on my list. But this is not something that I would put out there to get somebody to opt in for to get onto my list because it's not going to convert as highly. Webinars, same thing. Workshops, webinars, those kind of go hand in hand. And books and events. Okay. You'll see a lot of people will offer you, hey, grab my book. It's the physical copy of my book, and you can get it for $7, and that's going to cover the shipping. There's a whole other reasoning behind doing that, but people have to wait for it. They're not going to get it right now, and they want something quickly. And events don't perform as well because guess what? Maybe they're not available in the date of your event. So you're going to get fewer conversions. These are all key elements you have to consider. This just does not work as well. They work not nearly as well. There's a better strategy to use, and we're going to cover more of that today. All right. We've covered types. That's the second piece of a metric that you can improve upon. Now let's move to the third one, which is your graphic. A well-designed graphic is worth the extra effort. I like to think of it like packaging. Okay, greater perceived value means greater conversions. Okay, so let's really dig into this a little better. You can increase the perceived value of everything with the packaging. Have the graphic match the style. If you're offering a video program or a video to watch that they are going to consume at their computer, then your graphic should maybe be on a computer screen. If it's more like a book or a report, and by the way, the thickness of it will say a lot about it too. So make sure that the graphic matches. If it's a 5-page report, don't give it a book image graphic, give it a pamphlet graphic. Take the time to do it right. This will pay off in spades in the long run. So be sure to do a great graphic. I'll give you guys a quick tip in a moment on where to do that easily and cheaply. Keep it easy to read. Even your graphic should be readable because sometimes that's going to be the eye catcher and you want your title to pop on your graphic. And less is usually more. Don't overload a graphic that people are going to be like, what? There's so much text there, I can't tell what's going on. You're going to chase people away instead of drawing them in. So I'm going to show you just some minor things here. These are actually the graphics alone are fine for these. They're good, but how to make it great. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of these. This is one. This, as you see there to the left, is my 5 key objectives to first consider to create an amazing virtual summit. Okay. Notice the title alone first. Key objectives, not just any objectives, key objectives, and to create an amazing virtual summit, not just any virtual summit. All right. But what do you think is better? Is it going to give it more perceived value if they see it like the image on the left, or if they see it as the book and the stack over there on the right? It gives it more perceived value. Here's another one, the Freedom Lifestyle Blueprint. Now notice that this, by the way, it's a video training, okay, modules that someone will consume at their computer. So instead of it just being the image, we put it on a monitor to give it a little more perceived value and to give computer, stop. I forgot that my most people have Alexas in their homes, and I've renamed mine to Computer. So anytime I say that word, it will start to listen in to me. So anyway, this is set up to be on a monitor so that it gives it a little more of a feel of what it's looked like, what it's going to be played like, and it gives a greater perceived value. And finally, here's another one from Connie Whitman. You can see the old version, the graphic wasn't quite as clear and crisp, and it wasn't bad, but you just do a slight upgrade to a new look. It will increase your conversions. More people will opt in. I hope this is sinking in for all of y'all because this is super key. By the way, before I jump off of graphics, I will tell you you can go to, as a matter of fact, I should probably put this in the chat for y'all, myecovermaker.com. I'm going to type it in here, myecovermaker.com is a great place to have these 3D mock-ups done. Now, I know some of you use Canva. That's also a great way to do it, but I love my eCover Maker. It's got a great variety of different things. And guess what? A lot of them are absolutely free. And when you do choose a paid version of one, you can play with it, you can test it. If it looks good, you pay $4.95 for it. So it's very cheap, easy way to upgrade your graphic for your lead magnet and get more leads. So I put that into the chat, myecovermaker.com. All right, after the conversion piece of your graphic, next is your description. Now, I want you to think about this. If they're reading your description, they're interested. The title's already drawn them in, the image has drawn them in, they've both done their job. Now you got to reel them in. Let them know the valuable results that they're going to get from the resource that you're providing. And specifically, you want to make it irresistible. And how are you going to do that? First, you're going to speak to their needs. I'm just going to go on a limb here and assume that you know what you're looking for, in clients, well, and what their issues are. So you're going to want to speak to their needs. All right. Next, you're going to want to tell them what's in it for them. Now, normally we would say with them, what's in it for me, but in this case, you're talking about them. What's in it for them? What results are you going to be giving them in your lead magnet that you're providing? Okay, that's what people are most interested in, the results. You want to highlight those benefits. Okay, notice I'm not saying features. And we'll cover a little bit more of that later as we go. But a lot of times, some people's lead magnets are talking about, well, here's the problem. And they're not really digging into the benefits of learning what these problems are, how I'm going to help you to turn that problem into your own success. You got to highlight benefits in your description, and that includes revealing the outcomes. Just think of these two words, so that, and you can dig it down layer after layer, much like an onion, peel it back. This will help you to have a better language to speak to your clients. Well, so that what? So that you can improve your sales, so that you have more money at the end of the month, so that your bank account grows, whatever. You dig into the so that until you find that one that is really going to pique their interest and make it irresistible. And finally, tease them a little bit with your description. Set them up of like, with questions are always great to put in there, like, what would this do for you if? How much more money could you make if you did this? Let them start to think on their own about what this could do for them as well. Okay. Let them build in their own answers to that, what's in it for them. Okay. Next up, that's your description. Super important. And you can actually reel in a lot more people if you update your description properly. Next is your opt-in page. This probably is one of the areas where I see the most mistakes made that keeps people from growing their list effectively. You got to keep in mind, they've landed on your opt-in page. They've come this far now. They still haven't opted in yet. I want you all to get to every piece we've done along the way is to move people towards this page. Now they're here. Don't screw it up. You really need it in this page to think like a minimalist. You want to limit it to one or two sentences. You don't want to ask for too much info, and you want to keep everything above the fold. And you got to make sure it's a squeeze page. And I'm going to explain that in a minute for those of you who may not know what a squeeze page is. But you got to follow these rules, the do's and don'ts of a highly converting opt-in page. Number one, make it a squeeze page. I'll show you an example in a minute. But a squeeze page means they land on that page, and you're going to squeeze them either in or out. There's no place to go but either opt in or leave. Period. That's why it's called a squeeze page. Okay. You don't want to have any other links on your opt-in page. Keep it above the fold. They should never have to scroll down on your opt-in page to opt in. Remember, they're there because all this other stuff has led them to it with excitement. Let them finish opting in quickly. Do not make it too much work. Don't ask for too much. This will kill your opt-ins. If you start asking for first name, last name, email, phone number, and then a whole bunch of questions, people are going to leave. You're just not going to get as many. Save all that to ask for later. Minimally, at the very minimalist, all you need is an email. You don't even need their name, honestly. And I know a lot of people who make the putting in a first name is even optional. But if you are going to ask for a name, you don't need their last name. Just ask for their first name, email address. That's what I usually do. First name, email address. So don't ask for too much. Use the minimalist approach. Do not put too much on this page. There's an expression in selling that they say, once you've asked for the sale, shut up. The first person who talks loses. Okay. So all of the stuff you've done to get them here is asking for the sale. Now they're here. You need to shut up. Don't put too much in here. Don't give them more information to keep reading. They're already ready. Just be quiet. We're going to show you some examples here. This, as you can see, I'm going to show you a couple things wrong with this one. And again, not that it won't work, not that there are other elements that aren't too good, but I'm going to just point out where it could be improved. Okay. Number one, we could have less text here. Remember, they've already gotten here for a reason. This is going to have a chance of talking them out of it. Now they're starting to read more and, thinking other thoughts. The other part that's wrong with this, notice that it says, yes, I want the course. And in order to get it, someone has to click on that button. Two problems with this. Number one is it's an extra step. You want to minimize the number of steps to get them from point A to point B. Now they've got to click another button. But worse even is that when they click that button, it's going to open a pop-up. Well, guess what? If the person trying to opt in has a pop-up blocker in their firewall, they will never see that pop-up, and you will have lost an opt-in. So do not use pop-ups to get people to opt in. Now, it's different if it's on your website and you want to do an exit pop-up or anything like that. Totally different strategy. This person has already landed to opt in for your gift. Don't make them have to do a pop-up to enter the information. Okay? Next one. You guys could probably figure out what's wrong with this one. This one's got several things wrong with it. And again, I'm sure it works fine, but it will get a whole lot more if it were to follow a couple rules. Number one, you can see there's a big menu up there at the top, the menu bar. Someone who lands here is going to start looking around. They're going to start going, oh, what's this? Let me see the about. Coaching, what's that? Now all of a sudden they're distracted and they forgot what they came there for. And by the way, I did get permission from Orly to use this. Orly is one of our members at Infinite List, and she does really great work and great business, but this could be improved upon. And one would be to make it a squeeze page. And the other is we had to scroll down to get to the opt-in part. It's below the fold. So those two things are going to cause a little bit of an issue. The other piece I would change here, notice the little red asterisks between name, email, and phone number. She's requiring them to enter a phone number. This is going to reduce her number of opt-ins. Okay, so 3 elements could be improved on this, and I bet she would increase her opt-in percentage by as much as 20%. This one looks great. Notice how there's minimal text. You've got the title and 2 sentences. And all they're asking for is first name, email address, access your guide is all above the fold. No scrolling necessary. This is an example of the way you want to build a great lead magnet. Now, the only one other thing I might tweak on this would be the graphic. Typically, and I'm sure you all have experienced this before, maybe you have seen a graphic and you go, oh, this looks really cool. I think I want this. You click on the link, and then when you get there, the graphics don't match. It can make you think, is this the right page? Did I make the thing? And you could lose a few people that way. Okay, so nothing wrong with this, but if the graphic matches, great. If not, I might put the graphic there I'll show you an example. Here's where this is one of my lead magnets, the Ultimate Lead Magnet Playbooks. I teach so much about lead magnets. This is the lead magnet on lead magnets. By the way, there's the QR code if y'all want to opt in for it if you don't have it already. And by the way, I do recommend you create a QR code for your lead magnets. You can make those available in lots of easy ways for people to scan in and get quick access. But notice 2 sentences, only first name and email, no scrolling, and the graphic is sitting right there. All of that in combination is what makes for an easy, high converting lead magnet because simplicity wins. Okay, keeping it simple, you will get more conversions. All right, next up, we've just dealt with the opt-in page. Let's hop on over to the thank you page. Now, at this point, I will confess, we're beyond the opt-in now. But the reason I want to do this, cover the thank you page is, well, for several reasons, okay? One is that, the thank you page is probably your most valuable real estate. Somebody who's here, they just took an action. They just opted in for your thing. They might be ready for the next step. So you want to give it to them. You want to offer a call to action or several and have them, as an example, subscribe to your podcast, your YouTube channel, or both. You do not want to let this opportunity go to waste. Okay, it's the best real estate in town is what I like to call it, your thank you page. By the way, thank you page may be a bit of a misnomer. We'll cover that in a little bit, but here's the deal. These folks just raised their hand and said, this is cool. I want what you got. Let me at it. Okay. That's important. They're your best people who may want to take a next action right now. So you want to keep them moving forward. What else can they do in your world? And I'm not saying try to sell them. Okay. That may be the big turnoff immediately, and chase them back away. But you do want to keep them moving forward. Give them whatever else they can do as a next free and easy step. And that you do by offering their next call to action. And maybe it's as simple as sign up for my webinar. Now would be a good time to put in, hey, do you want to jump on a discovery call with me? My, free gift is on the way to your inbox, but if you got time, let's meet and talk. And finally, you want to guide them to follow you. Tell them how else they can interact with you, learn from you, see what you're up to in the world. Use this real estate. So many people I see just letting it, really just do nothing. Okay. And don't be shy on your thank you page. They like you. I mean, at least to the degree that they liked what you already showed them. So don't be bashful about that. Have them like you more. Have them follow more of your stuff. Subscribe to your podcast, YouTube, whatever. Here is if you did opt in for my Ultimate Lead Magnet Playbook, here's my thank you page. There are some key notes in here that I want to drive home to y'all. Notice, I don't say thank you. Remember, I said it was a bit of a misnomer earlier. I say congratulations. You don't want to, or not that you don't want to, but you don't need to thank somebody when you're the one giving them a free gift. I mean, maybe you're thanking them for their email, but really, they should be thanking you for giving them a wonderful resource. So I say, congratulations. You're congratulating them because they made a good decision. So congratulations on claiming my free guide, the Ultimate Lead Magnet Playbook. This next sentence is key. You will be receiving an email shortly with your download link. If you are sending them direct to your free gift when they sign up for it, you're losing people. Why? Well, because there are plenty of people out there, and I'm not saying everybody, but there's a percentage of people out there who are going to give you a fake email address. And they're going to try to get their free gift. And if you send it to them right away with a fake email address, well, you just gave it away for nothing. You did not get a good email. But if you send them to this page, it says, hey, you're going to receive an email shortly with your download link. Well, now if someone really wanted your gift and they gave you a fake email address trying to sneak by, now they're going to sign up again with the correct email address so that they can get the free gift. All right, so don't give it to them yet. Email it to them immediately. You need to have your autoresponder set to send it out right away. They do want it now, but have them go to their email to get it. The other reason you want to do that, even if they did use the correct email address, you still want them to go and look for your email. Because if it's in their spam folder, you want them to find it. You want them to pull it out of spam and look at it. It will improve your sender score, and it will also help in that email. You say in that welcome email, hey, be sure to whitelist us so we don't end up in your spam folder again. Okay. Now, that's the first part, but here's we're giving them their next call to action. Don't wait to get started. Join me for this game-changing workshop if you really want to activate your list in your business, harnessing the power of giveaways to 3x your business. This is where you invite them to a workshop. You could offer a ticket to an event. You could do anything else for the next call to action. And as I mentioned, don't stop there. Now you've got an interested party. Use it well. If people scroll down, and it's okay to have, because you're going to put more on this page, it's okay if they have to scroll down for stuff. We invite them to check out the Infinite List. There's a link that takes them right to our homepage. We also send them to our giveaway calendar. Especially if they got to here because they signed up for my giveaway, well, maybe they'd like to be in a giveaway themselves. So we send them to our Infinite List giveaway calendar, and we invite them to join the List Builders Lounge, our Facebook community. Several calls to action all on that same page. It is super valuable real estate. Trust me, do not let this go to waste. All right. That is your thank you page. And when you do all of this that I've just outlined for you in more depth, what you're going to find is money magnetism, what I call money magnetism. Now that they're in your world, you're going to start to build your know, like, trust factor. You want to nurture your relationship by continuing to give value in each communication, and you want to earn the right to make them an offer, and you can then watch the orders roll in. Okay. Each one of these, and we're going to dig into it still some more, so don't go away. I got a lot more how this really is going to translate for you. Okay. Remember when we started, I said that I was going to show you how you could go from 25% conversion to 40% or more with some minor fixes along the way. And that can bring you an extra 150 or more leads out of every 1,000 people who see your lead magnet. I said that, and it might have sounded like, a big promise, but I want to show you how. Okay. It really is simply mathematical. So, number one, just a simple tweak of your lead magnet title can improve your first step of conversion, getting someone to take a closer look. That could increase your conversion there by 10%. And what that means is that if you would normally, and remember, we're playing with 1,000 people seeing it just to give easy math. If normally you would get 400 out of every 1,000 people to move forward, now you're going to get 500 out of every 1,000, an additional 10%. Okay. Now I'm also going to be real clear here that there is some drop off. Okay. All along the customer journey, there's a natural drop off, but you got to keep them hooked all along the way. And the better you are with each of these steps, the more people will follow through and move toward becoming a buying customer. All right, next up is the right type of lead. Using the right type of lead can give you another 10% boost, okay? And in this case, it's 10% fewer leaving after the first part. All right, and I'm being conservative here, meaning your drop off becomes less because now instead of losing 60 potential leads, now you've maybe only lost 25 of those. People who advance to the next stage, you're still going to drop some, but far less. Having a better image is going to give you another 2% advantage. And this may seem trivial, by the way, as an example, but here's the deal. At this point, again, we're looking at drop off, but 2% less drop off means now you're only losing 14 people instead of 17. But when you factor this into the multiples of thousands of people looking at your lead magnet, it can make a huge difference in your bottom line. Every incremental change. Similarly, your description can drop another 2% in your drop off. Again, being very conservative in my factors here. Improving your opt-in page is going to get you a 5% or far greater bump in retention, keeping an extra 12 people moving towards a yes. And finally, your all-important thank you page will turn these folks from tire kickers, those people who just opt in and then back right out and leave. Having a great thank you page is going to bring them in a way that they're going to stick around and maybe even take their next action right now, resulting in more money in your bank account. So all told, that's an additional 175 people following you. listening to you, signing up for your workshops. Much like you here today, you signed up for this workshop from being on my list and you stick around and you pay attention. And ultimately, some of them, some of you will become clients. Some of you in the room already are clients, I see as well. The other thing is I want to be clear on, and by the way, if you were add all that math together, it doesn't equal 42% for those of you who are looking at it and go, wait a minute, that only equals 39%. The 42% you'll understand in a minute because these are calculated along the way. So the cumulative effect is 42%. And it's not rocket science. It's simple math combined with smart business savvy. As your list grows, your business grows. Okay. And so here's the breakdown of each of those increments. Okay. So starting off the bat, instead of having 400 people really looking more deeply out of 1,000, 40%, you're going to get 50%. But that 500 is going to drop less than the 400 is going to drop down because of the type. If you don't have the right type, again, this is all about retention. And the bottom line is when people make it all the way through to the thank you page, instead of 246 people, about a 25% conversion metric, you can increase it to about a 42% conversion metric. Okay, that's an extra 175 people following you, listening to you, signing up for your workshops. Okay, this can do amazing stuff for you. Again, it's not rocket science, it's simple math. And the truth is, when your list grows, your business grows. As Amy Porterfield put it, after 13 years in business, 46,000 students, and 43 million in revenue, I can confidently say when your email list grows, your business grows with it. So look, if you're getting value out of these trainings, y'all, I'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and please share it with your friends and colleagues. Okay, I'm going to leave this on the screen for a moment. We are actually doing this live on YouTube while we're at it. And if you're already a subscriber, you may have gotten a notification about it there as well. But we're really trying to put a lot of these deeper trainings out there. And on our YouTube channel, if you go there and subscribe, you'll find lots of great information that you could put together to really help you to grow your business. All right. So let me wrap up with this. We've been playing with that number of 1,000 new leads for easy math, but the reality is this. It's not necessarily easy to get your lead magnet in front of 1,000 eyeballs. You know, if you're putting it up on your website and that's the only place it is, you're probably going to take about, 6 months, maybe a year to even get 1,000 eyeballs to even see it. Okay. But I've made it easier for you, though, with my company that's called Infinite List. And what we do, plain and simple, is we get it the exposure it deserves, and we do it through giveaways. Okay. And a giveaway is a collection of lead magnets, valuable free gifts, thoughtfully curated by a single host and contributed by a diverse range of experts. And we run over 100 giveaways each year. And every single giveaway gets you potential exposure to not just thousands, but hundreds of thousands of eyeballs. Every giveaway we run, there are going to be over 100,000 emails going out saying, hey, come check out this giveaway, chock full of these great resources. And this helps you to generate great warm leads that are highly targeted. Okay, that's the value of a giveaway. These are highly targeted leads, they're warm, and it helps you to build your authority and grow your network simultaneously. Giveaways are a super valuable tool to do this. And through membership in the Infinite List, your leads are extremely low cost. Okay, as part of your ongoing strategy, it's important that you keep your lead costs low. They're consistent and they come in at higher quantity than other means, and they're warm, delivered to you in an easy to implement strategy. So, in a nutshell, these are people who see your lead magnet and say, yes, I want that. So if you want to get exposure to hundreds of thousands of ideal potential buyers of your products, programs, or services, I want you to check this out now, okay? We make lead generation easy. And you can join Infinite List for as little as $250 to get started. You participate in 12 or more giveaways over the course of a year. Some of our clients participate in 20 or more. And you will grow your list by thousands every year. And I'm going to put this link in the page because this is a special one-time offer that we're running right now for people who've tuned into this. This is not our normal website offer. Okay, there's some extra special deals going on right now. If you take advantage of the link you see here, you can get membership for as low as $825 for the whole year. You will also get an additional $13,000 in added bonuses. And by the way, if you do the annual plan, we're actually throwing in a 13th month for free. So this literally is a crazy low offer, but it's only available right now today. We're going to run this, probably keep it open for tonight and for a couple days before we pull it down from this piece. But I wanted to show you this opportunity to really go through. And the reason I say we'll keep it open for a while is because we're going to be sending a replay out to everybody who may have missed this call. And so they'll be able to replay it. And so we'll keep it open for a little bit, but you will not find a better deal on growing your list than you will with this. And I want you to check it out as well, because you'll see that we also offer Ask Me Anything calls 3 times a month, 2 community calls every month where you get to connect with other members, of which we have many in the room here with us today. You get to connect with them as well. So check it out. I hope that you'll join us. Our members are having great success. Christy Rufino here, one of our members, says I've gotten 3,161 leads and closed 10,750 in sales so far. And we were just talking with Christy. We were with her on the Marketers Cruise a week and a half ago, and she said these numbers have gone up dramatically since then. This is old news. It's hard to keep up with what's happening with our clients because things keep growing, and that's what matters. Virginia Parsons says my email list has nearly doubled in a few short months. Skipping on down to the part in bold, I attracted 2 new clients in the first month, which more than covered the cost of Infinite List annual membership. And that's the key. The return on investment you can get here can be phenomenal. Now, are these results typical of all members? No, because the truth is, Infinite List is kind of like a gym membership. How many of you have signed up for a gym membership and then just don't go? Well, if you don't go, you're not going to get results. And similar with Infinite List, if you don't play, if you don't jump into the giveaways, you're not going to grow your list. But those who are doing it, who are following our instructions and playing full out, are having great success. Like Nedra, her lead list has grown by 800 quality leads just since the spring. Infinite List has shown me the right way to do it, and the results speak for themselves. Again, another one here with an actual financial return on this. Diane Forrester, I managed to gain 88 new opt-ins. And even more impressively, I've already generated 16,000 in revenue. And Diane is one of our newer members here. So these are the results that you can do if you come in and play full out. So I'm going to bring it up on the screen once more because this is a thing. This offer is something that is going to be gone real soon. Okay. And it's incredible. The extra bonuses, the extra free month if you do annual. This is really an incredible deal. So we're going to leave this up while I answer some questions. I see we got some questions popping up into the chat. Here is the thing. This quote that you see there, the 825, that's our lowest level of membership called Premier, and that's the annual rate. But if you want to do monthly, it's $250 for your first month, because in your first month, you're getting our full training onboarding program. You're getting to come into all the calls. We're going to get you set up in the system and in our portal. And after that, it's only $79 per month. No long-term commitment. I will say this though, if you join monthly, okay, we don't want people taking advantage of us. So we don't give all 13,000 in bonuses right out of the gate, where you'd have somebody join for 250, collect 13,000 in bonuses and quit. We roll those out week by week. All right. But you do collect those over time. And we also believe that you will find that you're getting the results you want. We even have a performance guarantee that you will see on our website as well. So if this is something that you need to do, if you really need to grow your list and you want some support in building a better lead magnet, we invite you to join us and do the workshop that we have built into the program. It's a 15-module training called List Building Bootcamp, and come to our Ask Me Anything calls, where you'll get coaching from myself and Krista. We do it in a group format 3 times every month. We will help you to master your lead magnet. We have our members will bring in their lead magnet. They'll say, what do you think of this title? We'll give them some little tweaks for it. They'll say, what about the opt-in page? We'll give them tweaks for it. All of that is included in membership. The program really is worth 10 times more than what we offer it for, but we do want to make this available to everybody. And I have a question in the chat there. Can I have more than one lead magnet? Absolutely. I have 4 lead magnets showing on my site right now. We will store 4 lead magnets for you in our platform. And you can then from there mix them up. Whatever fits best for a particular giveaway that you're in, this will be the lead magnet that you want to use. Looking through here to see if we have any other questions. And then what we'll do is I'm going to stop screen share. Y'all might want to scan that in and at least have it up on your computer or on your system so that you can take advantage of that. But I'm going to stop the screen share and then I'll answer any questions you may have. There we go. So feel free to raise your hand if you have a question. I'm looking through the chat to see if there were any others that I could answer. Someone asked about a quiz. You know, quizzes are something that I would put on the second part. I would not start with a quiz. Not that they don't convert, but they won't convert quite as much as something else, and then offer the quiz for the second phase. We recently did our list building extravaganza, and we had people opt in for the extravaganza, and then we invited them to take our quiz, what we called an assessment. And so that would be where I would position that, not as your opener, because you will get fewer people in on it. Someone was saying that the My eCover Maker link doesn't work. Let me test mine and see. It is given a problem here. Why is that? Oh, I think I know why. It looks like those of you who are familiar with the world of internet and websites, you know that there's HTTP and HTTPS. HTTPS is the secure version, and HTTP without the S, it's less secure, but there we go. I had an S in there because I assumed they used HTTPS, but they don't. They just use HTTP. So there's the corrected link in there for you, and you can pop over there. That's myecovermaker.com. Michael said before he left, I've been a member for a little over a year now. Highly recommended. That's awesome. Thank you, Michael. Dane Deutsch had to go. Dane is one of our new members. Looks like I might be speaking to the choir a little bit in this room. It looks like we have a whole bunch of members already in here, so this is awesome. Thank you, Marcia, for saying that this is a really good training. Let's see. Do we have any other questions at all? Does anybody have one before we wrap up? Otherwise, I am going to close up for today, and then we will do another one of these trainings coming up down the road. But I also want to say this. If there's anything you want more trainings on, please let me know. You're all on my email list. Just pop me a reply and say, hey, Michael, can you teach us about this or teach us about that? I love doing these trainings, and I'm going to keep it up. So I'd love to have your input on what's going to serve you the best. All right. And since I don't see any hands going up right now, we're going to wrap it up just under 1 hour. Thank you all for attending today on your Sunday. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and I will catch you on the next one. Ciao, everybody.